My name is Taariq Lewis, and on February 23rd, 2013, my English teacher, Mr. Lemole, broke the tragic news to us that we had to do an oral presentation on one of our readings from the second trimester. Our choices ranged from The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain to the array of short stories we read by Flannery O'Connor and Ernest Hemingway. At first, I jumped at doing a presentation on The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn and writing an alternate ending. Then I realized that a lot of people have done that already, so it would not really meet the creative requirement. I decided to write a short story, combining elements of Flannery O'Connor's A Good Man Is Hard to Find and Hemingway's A Clean, Well-Lighted Place. I thought these two stories would mesh well together because, to me, both of the stories grapple with the absurdity of life. In A Clean, Well-Lighted Place, the old man takes refuge drinking in a cafe to distract him from the fact that life is meaningless. He's in despair, and his only way to deal with his sadness is in his routine of drinking in a clean, well-lighted place, away from the darkness and the nothingness of the night. The older waiter also grapples with the absurdity of life. He realizes that there is no inherent meaning to life and no God or heaven to look forward to. He realizes that man is as insignificant as a grain of sand among millions of other grains of sand. This is evident by his pseudo prayer in the end of the story that reads, Our Nada, who art in Nada, Nada be thy name. He takes the Lord's Prayer and replaces the words God and heaven with the Spanish word for nothing. The older waiter isn't depressed like the old man, but he sees his lonely future in him. He also drinks in cafes at night to quell this fear of nothingness. The younger waiter in A Clean, Well-Lighted Place is different from the older waiter and the old man. He doesn't sympathize with or understand the nothingness that the old man and the older waiter are coping with. He's young, brash, and confident. He enjoys life and has a wife waiting at home for him. The misfit from A Good Man Is Hard to Find also believes that there is no God and no inherent meaning to life. But he handles nothingness much different from the old man and the older waiter. His rationale is, because there is nothing, I might as well do terrible things. He states, there is no pleasure but meanness. I thought the clash of these rationales, dealing with the same dilemma, would be interesting, so I explored in my oral presentation. So here is my story. It's called No Good, No Bad. The cafe was musty. The light shined so bright that it provided a certain warmth a bar could not. It contained around 5 tables, not including the bar counter, surrounded by windows with views of nothing. The cafe stayed open as long as there were still customers coming in, and the 2 waiters worked tirelessly. One of the waiters was around 25 years old. He walked around the cafe in a hurry, as if he always had somewhere else to go. He was boyishly handsome, with piercing blue eyes. The other waiter was around 40 years old, with slightly gray hair. He was never in a hurry to leave the cafe, and the expression on his face was always one of understanding. He moved slowly compared to the other waiter. Each footstep seemed apprehensive, as if every time he walked, he was questioning his footing, like he was afraid of falling into a ditch. It's getting late. Why do we always have to work so long? I have a wife to come home to, and church in the morning, complained the younger waiter. Because people need the cafe. Why do you even go to church anyway? You know that nonsense isn't true, stated the older waiter. How do you know it's not true? Besides, it gives me something to believe in, said the younger waiter. Well, it's your life. The younger waiter grudgingly served an older deaf gentleman. Here's your whiskey, you old bat, you damn drunk. Thank you, kind sir. Why is the light so bright in here? It's nighttime. We should at least dim the lights. No. The bright lights make the cafe what it is, stated the older waiter. And what is that? Did you hear about the serial killer called the Misfit who escaped jail? Inquired the older waiter, purposely avoiding his colleague's question. Yeah, I'm not scared of him though. I'm young, strong, and confident. I can't say the same. I hope he comes to the cafe and kills the deaf old man so I can leave this damn place. He's the only customer left now. The old man was well put together. He was at least 75 years old and never spilt his drink, no matter how drunk he became. Another whiskey, sir? No! Get out! In. Oh. No! Whiskey, please? You're drunk! Go home! The waiter made a gesture towards the door, and the old man finally got up to leave the bar. When he opened the door, he paused. He had a look of fear on his face. He apprehensively stepped out of the cafe. The darkness swallowed him, while he walked slowly to his flat. Why did you make him leave? He was drunk, and I wanted to go home. Why is the old bat staying here so late anyway? He enjoys it. A thin, tall man with sunglasses walks into the cafe. His black t-shirt was tattered, and his skin was dark. His blue eyes were calm and shined with a glaring light. His hair was slightly gray, falling down to his shoulders. The older waiter observed the man closely, as if he knew him from somewhere. He looked like someone who enjoyed the cafe's light. Damn it, another customer, whispered the younger waiter under his breath. Think about it. One day, you will be old enough to not have to work at all, stated the older waiter. I don't want to think about that. The man sits down waiting to be served. The younger waiter, grinding his teeth with an agitated look on his face, approached the man. We're closed for the night. I have church in the morning, and my partner has to go too. Come by tomorrow. Are you a devout Christian? Yes, you can say so. The man slowly reached into his pocket with a smile on his face. He looked up with the pistol in his hand. Let's see how much your God can help you now. You too, buddy in the back. The younger waiter's face turned white with fear. Don't do this. I have a wife to come home to. You probably heard about me. I'm the misfit. I don't take pity on nobody because nobody has ever taken pity on me. And your God has never helped me. God can help you. Just don't do this. You can be saved. There's nothing to be saved from. Besides, your God wouldn't save a man like me. I'm telling you, you can be saved. The younger waiter's voice became less convincing as the conversation went on. His youthful confidence turned into apprehensive energy. You know why I call myself the misfit? Why? The older waiter curiously asked. Because I can't make what all I've done wrong fit all that I've gone through in punishment. But why are you doing this? Why do you kill? Asked the older waiter. He didn't ask the question to guilt the misfit into saving him and his colleagues' lives, like that question is usually asked to killers in movies. He genuinely wanted to know. He intently looked at the misfit, awaiting an answer. Because of nothing. They always said that if I were good, good things would happen to me. And if I were bad, bad things would happen to me. So I was always good. I never did nothing. The misfit had a bad habit of moving around when he talked. The expression on his face was not as cold as before. And then one day, my father killed my mother, and I killed him, and I found myself in a padded room. I never did nothing bad. That's why I do the things I do now. Because this God doesn't exist. And there's nothing. And nothing is going to happen to me. Just because nothing will happen to you, you can't just go around killing. You're right, Mr. Misfit, said the older waiter, interrupting his younger counterpart. You're right. There's nothing. No God, no inherent meaning to life. We're born and live out our dreary existence until our inevitable death. To the world, no good, no bad, just meaningless people. But you and I, we handle reality differently. You kill and, well, I drink. My way isn't too much better, but I wouldn't do what you do. I don't think it helps, but I understand. The misfit was taken back by what the man said. He placed his hand on his head with a puzzled look on his face. He pointed the gun at the waiters. "Don't do it!" screamed the younger waiter. "Please!" The misfit slowly turned the gun and curled his lips around the barrel. His pale eyes closed as he calmly pulled the trigger. The misfit passed. There's a 10-minute silence in between the 911 call and the authorities' arrival. He never really had a chance. None of us really do. The older waiter walked home when the sun came up. He whispered to himself, "Our nada, who art in nada, nada be thy name. Thy nada come, thy nada will be done. On nada, as it is in nada." The light continued to shine in the cafe, providing refuge from the darkness of the night. It stayed open every night for the men who try to seek meaning in routine.